What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And just to quickly mention before we get started today, I actually recorded a live trading session this week, so I'm going to upload it maybe somewhere around next week, hopefully. And I decided I'm going to try to squeeze in one live day of me trading each week, so hopefully that will go well. But today we started with a trend up, break, and a new high. We chopped around near the EMA, and we broke through the EMA, trend down, we have a break, and a new low. So right off the bat, this is looking very trading range like. This is not a sign of start of any trend. So this was looking very trading range like. And right from the get-go, I was thinking the short-term trend lines are going to be the main tool that I'm going to be using today. The price is kind of chopped around near the EMA, but this is still way too early. This is, what the pre-market open session kind of looks like most of the time. But once the prices made this third swing today, this is where I found the trend line. I just copied from the first two swings, and the trend line actually got confirmed right here, and I just copied and put it to the top. And you can see the prices are fitting from the top and fitting from the bottom. So this is quite a bigger trend line that's working, but you cannot ignore this. This is definitely, you can find this three swings touching nicely from the top. The prices are hugging the top nicely. And so from this point on, we are going from the lows of the range to the highs of the range. So this is why I was playing today, as this will might happen. We made a new high right here, and we found a top at a resistance. We broke lower. We have a first entry long. This was just a first entry long, and that's not according to our rules. So I wasn't really that eager taking it, even though it's off the trend line. But once we made this higher low, we pulled back, we trapped more bulls into the market, higher low, big bullish reversal bar. This is such a reversal bar. We trapped everybody in. They touched the trend line to the tick. All the bears got trapped because they're trying to go short way too early. They don't use the short-term trend lines. And this is a higher low, second entry long. And I think this is a good trade to take. And I don't think the break is that legit here. I was thinking that it's already a break and we're looking for a new high, but what it ended up being, we actually needed a second break, because this is, on a very edge, looking like it's close to being break or not. But nevertheless, this is a lower high, and this is just a first entry, so I would think that it's better to skip this because we want to wait for those second entries. This higher low, we trapped the bears in going short into the trend line. This is what we want to see. And even though technically this is the new high, this high is higher than this, I still treated this entry as a second entry. If you can see, we have a one leg down, pull back, second leg down. It's almost measured. So I was thinking as a tool like a pullback, and once we get a nice bullish bar once again off the trend line, and even though now it's maybe a valid break, at this point we are still looking to go long. I actually had the resistance higher like this at the time, but now I think it's a little bit lower. And this is what the resistance looking like now. So the trend line is still valid, and with the break, the price action rules are telling us we're most likely gonna make a new high, and this is what we did. We made a new high, and I'm seeing a setup here potentially. I'm gonna put my limit order straight in. Hopefully I get filled here, because looking at this, I'm gonna chase it just a little bit because I noticed this trade at the very last minute, very last second. I'm very tempted to chase this trade. Let me chase it a little bit. All right, we're filled, so I'm gonna put my stop one tick above this signal bar. I'm gonna put my runner to these lows. I'm going for 10 ticks. This is 2.5 point scalp. If this works, then I'm going to be holding my runner as I'm going to be doing the video. So hopefully, let's go. But the reason why I am taking this, because we have a trend working higher, we have a break and a new high. First entry short, second entry short at the EMA. Big move down. This was a gigantic move down. Everybody's starting to selling off here. A lot of bulls were panicking. The bulls were jumping out of the market. And yeah, this is why I like the trade. And you can see me chasing. I would have been already out, but me chasing it a little bit, we just bounce off my exit order. And don't tell me you're gonna be hanging now in this trade for a long time. But yeah, second entry short at the EMA. This is our key entry point. According to rules, we have a break and a new high. You know, multiple reasons to go short here. And we broke off the trading range. We broke the support. We pull back. Most breakouts will fail. So we try to get back in. But the market is so weak that the key entry point EMA is holding prices nicely here. So this is why I like the trade. And hopefully it's going to work, because it would be nice to end up my day today. Come on, let's go. One more tick lower. Prices always need to spike through the target profit limit order. Occasionally it will happen. If you're first to the queue, this is why I use the automated strategy. If you're first to the queue, you will sometimes only need to touch the order. You don't have to take through. Like you can see right now, you know, we touched a couple times, but there was a lot of people that were in front of me. But once there was my turn, and because I was very early in the queue, you know, I got filled. So that's a nice pleasant surprise. I'm gonna let the runner, I'm actually thinking this market is very weak. I'm gonna put it just because I'm not gonna be paying much attention to this. We're gonna do the lesson. So it's kind of tempting to look at this. I apologize, but yeah, first entry short, second textbook entry. I was actually surprised that I managed to catch this trade at the very last second. Nevertheless, we have a trend working up higher, short-term trend. So this is a trading range, and at the trading ranges, how are we trading them? Using the short-term trend lines. We have a break and a new high, and we have a failed break higher. This was very tempting to take, but I didn't like how the bar was big, and I was waiting for a lower high, which came here. But now you're going short at the EMA, so you're taking a risk here. But we are coming off the top, and this is the best way to trade the ranges, to sell the tops. So I'm going to mark it because it is a failed break higher. I just didn't take this trade. But nevertheless, we spiked through EMA, and this is now a sign of a reversal pattern right here. First entry short, second entry short. The EMA is serving as a stepping point right here. Pull back, retested it once, pull back, retested it twice. Reversal pattern, we have a break and a new high. We're coming off the highs. Second entry short, barely worked though. Nice bearish reversal bar, but it is a reversal pattern, and I made the video about reversal patterns if you guys are interested. So this is why this setup is according to our rules, and we should be taking this. I was surprised that we kind of chopped here and we made one leg up, but now we definitely bounce off the resistance, and it was very tempting to go short right here because this is the new high right here. First entry long, pull back, second entry long. But we are so close to the EMA. If we were a little bit higher, or the bar was so big that we actually pushed through the EMA and we closed down right here at these lows, I would actually be thinking taking the short here. But we're still above the EMA, and you never know whether you're going to make a few ticks higher and then reverse. So once again, very tempting to take these shorts right here. And you can see this is, oh, actually, let me see. I'm sorry, guys. Let's go. I'm gonna keep moving this. Oh my god, let's go. I'm gonna put it right here. The reason why I'm moving this, oh my god, can you guys see this? This is almost free money. The reason why I'm moving my target profit further and further is because of the massive sell-off we actually took right here, because this looked like we're gonna casually go to the support and bounce from here, but for some reason, probably just some big hedge fund manager dumped all his position, or maybe what happened, even the people who bought here and bought here, maybe they just didn't decide to buy here, so the market just sliced through the support like it's not even there. This is massive. Look at this move. It is a little bit zoomed out right now, but this is such a gigantic move. This is the only correction we had. This gigantic move, and this was the only correction we had. This is why I'm moving my stop a little bit lower and lower. Hopefully I'm not too greedy here. But nevertheless, where were we? Oh yes, so if you're a little bit aggressive trader, taking this trade, it is according to our rules because it's a failed second entry long and it is off the trading range. But I was just waiting. I was just a little bit hesitant because we're so close to the EMA. Actually, I'm not going to even mark it because right now you're too close to the EMA, and going short into the EMA is not ideal. We push back lower, made a second leg lower, and we bounce at the support. Pull back first entry, pull back second entry, big bullish reversal bar. This is a sign of a reversal pattern. This is how I was playing the. This is how I was eyeballing the trend line with the break and the new low. First entry long, second entry long. Once again, reversal pattern. And at the trading ranges, reversal patterns are a good tool to use as well, because you can be buying. This is just more safely. This is just more safe. Playing it like this is more safe because you can be buying the first entries and selling the first entries, be a little bit more aggressive, and it will work. But waiting for the reversal patterns, there is a much higher probability that the trade is going to win. And this is a failed second entry. Short. It's not close to the key entry point that much, so something to pay, something to keep an eye on. But still, it's very close to trend line and EMA. It is a failed second entry short, so I like this trade. And we just kept going higher, kept going higher. And once again, we just didn't even make a new high, and we just quickly reversed. And at this point, the trading range, now this was a little bit of a no man's land. To be honest, I marked the trades, and I even took this trade, and I took a loser here, and I'm going to explain to you guys why. But once the market is looking like this, that we are not making it to the highs and we are not making it to the lows, this is starting to look very much like a no man's land. And really anything can happen, because you can look at this like this, and you can be looking at this something like this. And I hate these wedge patterns because it's looking like anything can happen. It can break either side. I'm gonna put my stop loss somewhere around here, because this would be like 450, and I want to secure some of my money already. Oh, never mind, we got stopped out. But yeah, this was looking like we have a first entry long, second entry long that failed, and I thought we were gonna make one more push lower, but also I didn't want to give back all my money. Nevertheless, yeah, so this is looking like a no man's land. And this is also why we are not making a new highs and a new lows that much, because the market really has no direction at this point on. So I took this trade because even though we don't have a new high, the way we shot through the EMA right here was very telling. This is very strong move through EMA, and this was kind of the theme for the day. We like this sell off through the EMA right here. So I was kind of paying attention to this and feeling like there might be some bears jumping into the market. And this is the first entry short, pullback, second entry short. So I took this trade, and the trade would have worked. And that's the funniest part, and I made a mistake. This is why I always tell you to put the stop loss above the entire swing, because even though I entered on this bar, once we broke on this bearish bar below it, I should have put my stop loss one tick above this entire swing, above this bar. But I just put it, and I didn't even put it one tick above this bar. I have put it exactly at the close of this bar, so this was 2 ticks above this bar. So I made a little bit an error. I didn't, look at it properly, because I thought I put it 1 tick above this bar, and what happened, I put it 2 ticks above this bar, which ended up being at the close of this stim right here. And you can see I was in the trade right here. We chopped here. I barely didn't get scalp. I barely didn't get my money. We pull back, we created a double top to the tick, and exactly my stop loss were hanging there at the very close of this stim right here. So I just got stopped out right here, and prices went lower, made the 1 tick more lower than I needed to get filled. But I actually had a loser, and if I actually had my stop 1 tick above this signal bar, I would have survived this trade and actually would have ended up being a winner. So I just took a stupid error stupid mistake right here, that I didn't eyeball it properly. And these are the kind of errors that, you know, are gonna happen. Like sometimes you're occasionally gonna put a buy order instead of sell order into the market, and these errors they suck the most, because that has nothing to do with trading. This is just a mechanical error that happened just randomly. But you will have a few of these errors. I'm sure one of you probably put a few times during your trading career sell instead of buy, and vice versa. But nevertheless, we were working low and was looking for a new low. So second entry short off the EMA, very similar to here, almost very similar to here, but we don't have a break any new high of this channel working higher. And then we just went into this big consolidation. This is just a trading range. And at this point on, I stopped trading, and I would advise you to do the same, because we are not making to the lows and we're not making to the highs. We're just going into this wedge pattern. We're going into the no man's land, and this is where beginners will get chopped to pieces every single time. But nevertheless, we broke higher off the congestion. First entry long, pullback, second entry long, bearish bar, and with the break above this support, I think it was worth taking a chance to going short right here. Unfortunately, there's really no way to enter this, to catch this big runner right here. This is just a first entry, and now you have a first entry as well. Plus you have this trend line working higher. So this is not according to our rules, and it's a shame, but we have to play it like this, because next time you take this trade, it's gonna fail on you. So don't let this bother you. You're gonna miss trades. If you skip this trade, you did well, because it's not according to our rules. But this was a great trade. Yeah, let me mark this. I actually took it at the very last second, and I'm glad I did, because it's a nice way to finish the week. First entry short, second entry short, break and a new high, key entry point. So many rules of our strategy are being met here, that this is very beginner friendly setup as well. So this also shows you to be patient, and how patience is important, because if you really are having hard times finding a setup during the day, you never know when the right setup, the easy setup is going to occur. So you just want to be patient, and you don't want to rush the trades. So this was the bigger pattern, the bigger picture, and it's looking like we are making a measured move. This is one tier of the range, and this is the second tier of the range. I don't really use this, but you can see that this is definitely valid. And just because, I mean the measure moves are legit, there's definitely something behind them. I just don't rely on them when I'm placing my trades. Like for example, I wouldn't buy here blindly because it's a measured move. I just wouldn't. I just like the higher probability setups, and there are second entries at the key entry points. So I'm gonna wrap it up. Hopefully you guys had a good trading day today, and hopefully you guys had a great week, and stay tuned for the live video that's gonna be popping up next week. So see you soon, guys. Bye guys.